Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the SimRacingPaddock. I'm William Marsh, and this is going to be my first impressions on NASCAR Heat 3. So, this is an interesting title. I have been a NASCAR fan growing up throughout the years, especially throughout my childhood. So, for example, I grew up in Oklahoma for a few years of my childhood, so I always had this thing for NASCAR, grew up enjoying it, so I watched it a lot. However, as I got older throughout the years, I ended up actually gravitating more towards different series, such as IndyCar, GT racing, Formula One, and my interest in NASCAR sort of waned. And that seems to be the case with a lot of people. A lot of questionable decisions and poor-ish racing has led to NASCAR becoming sort of a shell of what it used to be. So early on, for my impressions for NASCAR Heat 3, it sort of felt that way. It sort of felt that NASCAR Heat 3 has the potential for a solid racing game, but a lot of questionable decisions, poor elements of it have really led to it just having a lot of squandered potential. So I'll dive into that as I'm going through this live first impressions, and we can take a look. So I'm going to turn off display capture and load up NASCAR Heat 3. So far I've had about 3 hours testing. I've tested on both of my PCs actually. So I have tested out this on my main Stormtrooper rig as of right now. I have also tested it out on my Black Beauty, which is my Ryzen build. And at the very least, I will say it performs smoothly. It performs decently. So I'm happy with that. Hold on a second. I noticed we're not getting any audio going through. Let's turn up the volume. Hopefully I don't get claimed for this. But the thing I will say is this at least has atmosphere. That's one of the nice things at least. It has atmosphere. It feels like a NASCAR game. So country/rock music, that's something you're looking for. I did turn off the music in the menus though because I don't really want to get copyright claimed. So you won't hear the menus and things like that. So this is NASCAR Heat 3. Looking at the initial menu, actually I'm going to move the chat so it doesn't block the menu. Looking at the initial menu and everything, it looks half decent. It looks half decent. It has solid presentation. You can control it either with the keyboard or with your wheel, which is nice. And Wayne, TLDR, no way in heck. It is nowhere near the level of iRacing. So, continuing with this, it's decent presentation. Except for the options and stuff, it's missing a lot of core functionalities that are sort of irritating. So, like go to game settings, AI difficulty at least, which is nice. So you can either do auto difficulty, or yeah, so this is just quick race. So auto easy, auto hard, I guess that would be the baseline. Or you can do custom. I've been racing at 95, and honestly, I've just been extremely, like, murdering the field. So we'll turn that up a bit. We'll do 25% race length for our test race weekend. And then 4 times normal tire wear, which should be in line for actually just 1-to-1, or not 1-to-1, but time accelerated tire wear and fuel consumption. So, flags, you can either set to no flags, black flags, all with relaxed yellows or strict yellows. We'll just do relaxed, why not? Stages, you can do single race stage or 3 race stage. I'm happy for that at least. I am not a fan of stage racing in NASCAR. I think it just goes against the mentality of NASCAR. So I'll just do single race stage. Qualify settings, you can do session qualify or quick qualify. Quick qualify is 1 shot. You get 1 lap, similar to what is in F1 2018. All modes, full damage. Yes, we'll do that. Stability help, nope, we don't need it. Always use custom setups? No. Transmission manual. So I don't have an H pattern shifter on this, but this does support H pattern and clutch if you have it. So there's that. Controls. One nice thing, this set up pretty well with my open sim wheel, my Heusinkveld pedals, and my Heusinkveld shifter. This actually works okay with it, shockingly. So we can go into controls, except I did set to 540 degrees, add a little more representation, but this will get onto one of the main points that drives me up a wall. So you can test the sensitivity, and Studi Gerd, thank you for subscribing. So you can press the options menu on my wheel to set the, or what is it? Set, okay, here's steering. So it took me steering to one extreme to recognize it. So you can see the way it's set, it has 240 degrees of rotation, which is okay. It works. If I turn up the steering range, whoops, I hit the wrong button, my bad. So I can adjust the steering range, turn it up further. This will go to a full 360 degrees, which that's okay for a NASCAR car. It'll be 360 degrees. But there are a couple hard-baked assists baked into the game that you cannot turn off. One is low-speed steering boost, which means when you turn the wheel a little bit when the car is in pit lane or something like that, it will steer more than you're steering. So it's oversensitive. So remember, right now we have steering sensitivity at the center. So if we turn it up, you'll notice that the less I steer, the more it goes. So it goes more. So it has issues getting around center. If we adjust it down, it dampens the steering. So you have to steer more to get that initial input. So when you're at speed, the steering sensitivity adjusts. So at speed, it goes more towards here. When you're at a stop or a low speed, it goes towards here. And that causes a lot of issues. That really does cause a lot of issues while driving. And I'll show you in a little bit. So I have already configured all my controls for the wheel and pedal set and the shifter, so we don't have to really go through there, but I'll just show you a quick run through. So pretty simple. You will assign the control. So not really too much to show here at least, but for example, let's just do next page and previous page. So right bumper and previous page, left bumper. Simple as that, and it works. Save changes. Other settings. So here you can adjust dead zones for steering, throttle, brake, or clutch. You can adjust for which player is using a wheel, which player is using gamepad, and so on. So it works. It's functional. So that's all that we really need to know. Screen settings. Resolution. VSync. So it's interesting. Screen number, primary, secondary, or third. I haven't tested out triple screen support yet on this. I have not, but so far so good. And then you can do different presets. So custom, we can take a look. Anti-aliasing, blooms, shadow quality high. Very, very limited in what you can adjust. You can't adjust car detail. You can't adjust AI detail. You can't adjust things like that, which is weird. But yeah, so we just keep it on high. That's fine. Sound, straightforward. And I was excited when I saw this spotter bar. You see spotter. You can adjust spotter. No options. They're gonna... Oh, thank you for that, Alex. Sorry about that. Let's turn that off. Okay, thanks for that catch. But yeah, so spotter. I go down here and I'm like, ooh, you can adjust the spotter. No options. They must be saving that for DLC or something. And it's like, really? That's frustrating. I would have loved to have the option to adjust the spotter off the bat, but yeah. Then age verification. This is so you could actually get rid of those placeholder alcohol sponsor things. So you can input your birth date. So I am April 2nd. Birth year is 1993. And it's kind of funny. This is the easiest age verification. It's like, boop. Are you sure? Yes. So, yeah. We are now verified age-wise, which means we should see alcohol liveries. So, and there's split screen. That's cool to see, at least. I have fond memories of racing in NASCAR games with my dad, and he would just get angry and go the wrong way, try to wreck people. Championship. So you can do a championship in any of the divisions. So Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, Camping World Truck Series, or as I grew up calling them, Craftsman, Busch, and Cup. Extreme Dirt Tour with an EX, so it's extra extreme. Not an official series, it's just they shoehorned it in to bring in dirt cars. So yeah. Challenges. This is pretty cool. So you can do these different challenges. So for example, they're talking about Atlanta Motor Speedway 17 years later. Because Kevin Harvick, he got his first NASCAR win at Atlanta in 2001. And he was driving the 29 car, which was created to actually, it was with Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s crew. And this was just a couple of weeks after Dale Earnhardt Sr. had died. So to see Dale Earnhardt crew and essentially his car under a new driver take the win over Jeff Gordon, that was a historic moment. So they're saying you can do this moment 17 years later, because I think he won Atlanta this year. So you can reenact that event. So there's 38 challenges in this mode. And then September Free Pack has just one. Interesting. And then I guess there's going to be DLC releases. So, Taffy, I actually did have a Papyrus Sim as a kid. I had NASCAR Racing 1999 season, and I got that when I was 6. Had no idea what the heck I was doing, but it was a lot of fun. And then there's career mode, so you just build your way up from dirt to the truck to Nationwide to Cup, or Xfinity, my bad. It just changes so many names, it's confusing. Then there's multiplayer. You can jump in there. We will maybe save that for another stream. But yes, Alex, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Because if you remember, like, the old school NASCAR games by EA, they don't look so bad nowadays right now. So it's like, yeah. So we're going to do a quick race weekend. My favorite driver right now, Chase Elliott. Used to be Jeff Gordon, but Chase, he was actually Bill Elliott Sr. was one of my favorite drivers. He drove the 9. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Fun fact, Chase Elliott's name is actually William. Chase is his middle name. So you actually have that. So yeah, I enjoyed that, and I enjoy racing as him. So yeah, so fun fact. Let's see. Let's do a race at Charlotte. So it's going to be a 100-lap race at night. Is it just me, or is the livery resolution touch low? Yeah. It also is a bit of the aliasing, I think. You can see aliasing on parts of it. But yeah, I think the livery resolution's low. So we'll do Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we can press Y to get to quick race settings. So difficulty at 100%. Race length 25, yes, 4 times. So this saved all the settings that we adjusted earlier. What about William Byron? I'm not as much of a fan, to be perfectly blunt. I mean, I was a fan of Jeff Gordon, and I was okay with Chase taking over to 24. And like, William Byron Jr. is a pay driver. That's realistically what he is. He is a pay driver who just happened to get his start in iRacing. That's realistically what happened. So right here, we can see that we are now in the car. And watch my wheel movement. So this white stripe here. Oh, shoot. My bad.
You're clear of the road.
So commonly, like in the pit lane, the steering is more sensitive in pit lane. And then when we are on the track, the steering gets less sensitive. So in the corner, I'm going to be steering about 90 degrees to the left. So let's steer 90 degrees to the left. And it's showing maybe 25 degrees to the left in game. It's never a one-to-one steering representation, which kind of frustrating in my book. But yeah, the steering range might honestly be a little too high. And also another thing I just want to point out. You cannot turn off the racing line in practice. I know some people are going to complain. He's a sim racer. Why is he using a racing line? You can't turn it off. You cannot turn off the racing line in practice. So, yeah, this steering is not sensitive enough. So, that's just an inherent issue with the steering system in the game. And I would adjust it in settings if they would let me. So, what we actually have to do is we got to back out of this session. We got to back out of this session. And I'm just going to center that steering range slider. And you will see how, like, backwards this steering system is. So 540 degrees, that matches what I have set in SimiCube. Steering range, center it. And the way this works is, it is now about 200, 210 degrees of rotation in the wheel. That's okay. That'll work for NASCAR. That'll work okay. So, you will go back to Quick Race Weekend. We have to set this up again. So, Chase Elliott, yes. And let's just do a quick run back to Charlotte. Thank goodness I wasn't doing Watkins Glen, or else I'd have to go throughout the entire menu. Game looks a touch on janky side. Yes, that is true. Remember, we have anti-aliasing on high. Anti-aliasing is at high right now. And I mean, visually, with the lighting and stuff, drivers actually look okay. That looks a little bit like Chase, actually. It's nowhere near as bad as, say, the F1 games. But racing games shouldn't be judged on people animations. So, we'll go back in. Again. So, I'm at a complete stop. I'm turning my wheel about 15, 20 degrees. And it's almost doing double the steering input. Right there. The game is showing 90 degrees. I'm at about 45, 50 degrees steering. It's not one-to-one. And it just baffles me. So let's turn on the throttle to turn on the car. So exiting the pits can be irritating. So here, now it's at a point where exiting the pits, I'm steering more now than what the game is showing. So as I mentioned, the steering sensitivity is adjusting. And from what I feel like I can decipher is it's a mix of speed-sensitive steering mixed in with a low-speed steering boost. Which, the funny thing is, those were both traits I believe that were in either the original NASCAR Heat or NASCAR Racing 2003, but those were options that could be turned off. You can't turn those off in this game. There's no option in the settings. There's no option in the menus. You are stuck with it. And also, one other thing. I've complained about R-Factor 2's shadows being bad. They are nothing compared to the draw distances in this game. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 LOD jumps. Like, so, when you're about 10 feet in front of you, the shadows are okay. 20 feet, they're blurry as heck. It just makes you go, really?
That car there's on your inside. Inside.
Okay.
One down low now. Got one down low. Inside.
So yeah, it's interesting because if they remove that speed-sensitive steering element of it, this would be a decent racing game. It would be okay. I mean, it's definitely not hardcore simulation level, but it's still okay. Now, pop quiz. Actually, no, not pop quiz, but question. How many of you guys have driven the original NASCAR games? Or original NASCAR Heat games? Who here has driven NASCAR Heat and NASCAR Heat Dirt to Daytona, and also NASCAR Heat 2 on the Xbox? Original Xbox. So, and in those games, there was a damage indicator that would show up on the bottom of the screen and show either aero damage, engine damage, etc. Wow, that didn't show the aero damage. That didn't work. But what I was going to try to show you is the damage. The way the damage is shown in the game is the same way. And still, it's not showing us that arrow indicator. Come on, show the damage indicator. Oh yeah, by the way, we're doing full damage. There it is. There's the damage indicator. So you can see right there. That is the same damage indicator as we have seen. And wow, it just respawned me on track. That happens too. So, literally, we have this same engine elements carried over from the original NASCAR Heat. Original NASCAR Heat. A game from 1999.
Back it down.
Really? I mean, I understand living up to the original name's legacy, but recycling that legacy? I'm not too sure of that. So, one thing I'm wanting to show you as well is you can see we're at 100% strength AI. We're at 100% strength AI, and they are blowing me out of the water even before I wrecked my car. So what I'm actually going to do for this, for this race weekend, I'm going to drop down the AI strength. So this was 100% strength. Let's drop it down to 95. 5% drop. So it should, in theory, be a little more consistent for me. And what's frustrating is that 704 Games is the rebrand of another rebrand of another rebrand. So if you remember, at the core, this is essentially Eutechnics. This is essentially Eutechnics Racing, which did NASCAR the Game, NASCAR the Game Inside the Line, NASCAR Game 2013, and those games were mediocre. Nothing to write home about. Then they rebranded their racing game division to Duesenberry Martin Racing. And then they rebranded again to 704 Games. So they keep on trying to bury this past behind them, and it's like, yeah, really? So we got some practice in. Let's go straight to qualifying. And what you'll notice is, thankfully, Racing Line is gone. But for the newbies, you can't turn it on. So we're getting up to speed right now. So remember, we just dropped the AI 5%. And that shouldn't do too much, at least, I think. But yeah, what's frustrating about the steering, though, is it masks relatively decent physics. Relatively decent. You get an okay idea on what the car's doing. You get an okay idea on what to do and what the car behaves when it's loose, when it's tight. And yeah, so I can tell the car's tight. We're using the most stable setup. So we'll adjust to a more loose setup for the race. Yeah, you can see I can't get the car turned down, but then I can get it turned down a little slow. We should be qualifying maybe 11? Okay, nope, we qualified 4th. So, yeah, we're right on pace with the leaders, which is okay. This is pretty nice. So, yeah, full 40-car field with a few placeholder cars, which reminds me of the older days. And then we can go to change setup. So we're in the most stable setup by default. Let's go a little to the looser side. And then we can start the race. Now, consider, this is just 5% difference. In the practice, you are seeing me getting, like, murdered. Murdered in the race. Like, or murdered in practice. So, let's see how this is.
Coming to the green, driver.
But yeah, Alex, you can modify for more intense, or more in-depth adjustments. But yeah, that's the basic setup screen. Yeah, 2 Haas cars in front. How am I not surprised? Little bumping never hurt anyone.
Careful, still there.
But wow, they just come to a stop in the corners. I'll get the run out. Oh, he pinches me in the wall. So, oh. And we're flipping. We are flipping out to a barrel roll. And no caution. Wow. No caution at all. You would think I just barrel rolled and there would be a caution. I know. We had it set to lax yellow flag settings. We had it set to the relatively light yellow flags. But that has to be a yellow. That absolutely has to be a yellow. I mean, wow. That just totally blows my mind that it was not a yellow. And, okay, so we have a pretty darn damaged car right now. And I think we are still gonna close in on these other cars. We will see. I see cars on the front straight. So we literally just barrel rolled through the field. And somehow there was no caution. And somehow we're fighting our way back up. Literally. We're getting closer to the cars. And we just barrel rolled maybe 20 times. And still, we're getting the non-linear steering, which was not represented in the steering settings. But we will not restart this race. We will see this through and see how it goes. But yeah, look how fast I'm catching up on these guys. And this is only a 5% difference.
All clear. Bottom lane clear. Use the skid. Hold your line. You got one inside. Hold your line.
Yeah, around center, it's almost impossible to hold your line.
Got one down low now. Got one down low. Inside.
Wait till I come back to the center course and don't know how to steer. Yeah, that's about right.
On now, you're clear.
Oh, Timmy Hill throwing down the block. Come on, man. I'm fast. All right, so I barrel roll and I'm still faster than you. That's an insult. Whoa.
Car outside. Car outside. Car on the outside now, outside.
So we literally barrel rolled, got sent to dead last, and we're battling up for 30th right now.
All right, careful now, still there.
And this is the kind of AI that this has. If you drop 5% from the 100%, this is the default AI difficulty right now. The AI in this game defaults to 95%. And it just baffles you because right now, barrel rolled and I'm driving right past.
Clear all around.
And here's the thing. One thing is, this would have been a good game in 2004. This would have been a great NASCAR Heat 3 if it was a sequel to the original NASCAR Heat Dirt to Daytona. It would have been a good one. But seeing this is just like, what? So the Oz, there are digital dashboards in the Cup cars now. I don't think this is a true representation of a dash though. It looks quite a bit different than iRacing's dashes, and I used to think for the longest time that you didn't get the speedometer or the speedometer in a NASCAR Cup car. At least in the old days, you didn't get a speedometer in a Cup car. So this digital dash, it does look close to what you get in real life. I'd have to look at some onboard videos to see if you actually get a speedometer. But yeah, this is relatively close. But also, I thought that some real-life NASCAR cars had lap time. They would show lap time.
That was a great lap. Got a car up top, got a car high now.
So yeah, now we're in the top 25 with a car that should have been totaled. It should have been totaled. Oh, shoot. And boom, Trevor Bayne just runs me over, no situational awareness. Well, that's realistic. For those of you who don't know, Trevor Bayne is known for wrecking anyone on wheels. So, one of my theories is that they recycled the sounds for this game from NASCAR Heat, the 1999 game. It sounds very close to the original NASCAR Heat or Dirt to Daytona. It doesn't sound anything like the NASCAR Cup car. Listen to iRacing onboards. Listen to NASCAR onboards. Entire races are now broadcast from the visor camera nowadays. So you can get an idea on how a NASCAR car sounds from the interior. This doesn't sound anything close to it. So we have 88 laps to go. So, yeah, it's something where, as I said again, this game would have been okay in 2004. But this is in 2018. I mean, the visuals are maybe up to 2013 standards. I'd say 2013, maybe 2014 in some ways. The car models are okay. They're passable. They would make for a decent shovelware game, which those actually do exist at times. But this is a game being sold for $60 new in October 2018, and boom, we barrel roll again. And there's going to be no caution, I bet. We'll be put back on the racetrack in 3 seconds. Right in the middle of the track.
You got to pit. Bring her in. You're low on gas.
Okay, low on gas. We'll see how this goes. Aero damage might have some effect. But yeah, so going into pit lane with this.
Back it down.
And then boom, it throws you into this. So we're going to lose 27 seconds to repair the car. Yes, we will repair the car and we'll see how it is. I don't think the, what were they called? The roof flaps. Roof flaps. Even though some of them are on the hood. So let's see how this goes. Come to a stop. 5 seconds before they even start doing the tires. NASCAR pit stop should be about 20 seconds, or not 20 seconds, about 13, 14 seconds, not 18. So now the car is being repaired. Estimated 42 seconds. So let's see if we can fight our way back. Because I've been able to lap the field almost the entire time with about 11 apps. Flight Sim 10 or DCS? I've only done DCS one time, and that was in a motion sim in VR. So I got kind of spoiled my first time on on DCS. But that was a lot of fun. Flight Sim 10, it's okay. Always seemed a little low frame rate wise. I could never get it like set up to a higher frame rate. So right now, Harvick, he must have pitted a lap or so ago, and I just blow past him like he's standing still. And now we're gonna lap some of the other cars. And it's frustrating. We don't see how far behind I am. There's very little information communicated. You don't know how far behind you are. You don't know how many laps down you are. You have very, very little information. They have very little information. Why do they still use 5-lug wheels? The main reason, tradition. Tradition, I think, is the main reason why they use 5-lug wheels. There was a rule earlier on where actually you only needed enough lugs to secure the car on. So basically a lot of teams would only secure 3 out of the 5 lugs. However, it started... Okay. There's actually a caution. And we're only 1 lap down. We're only 1 lap down. So I think we can actually pull this off. So I'm just going to pit because we are not in the lucky dog. But yeah, so when they actually had 3 lugs, or like they usually would do like 3 lugs or something, they actually would have issues where the tires would fly off. They would fly off. And oh, there's a car smoking right there. Somebody's engine's about to go. But yeah, so tires would fly off into the stands or into the RV areas or just cause a lot of trouble. So they reincorporated the rule which required you to actually do 5 lugs. And then they also restricted the amount of people over the wall. So they made they made pit stops longer. They were getting down to around the 11-second range. And then now they're around 14, 15 seconds, but it's safer. And now a little closer to tradition. But yeah, we're just passing this entire field like it's standing still right now. It's mind-blowing. And consider, this is the default AI strength. Default AI strength in this game. Default. Okay, I'm not going to wreck Nard right there. Bump and run, we'll just call it that. And boom, momentum. So this is the this is the default AI. This is, so consider, when we were doing the practice, I was running 100%, and we were getting passed left and right. This is 95%. This is 95%. And I'm going to guess lap 40. Lap 40 is when we might lap the entire field and take the lead. Even though I just hit the wall there. And again, you're seeing that I'm steering more in real life than the game is showing, which is kind of irritating. And then you can get the oscillations around center. Force feedback's okay. You can feel the car kind of get some load and everything. And yeah, this, in theory, is like very disappointing. I'll put it that way. Go to iRacing or even R Factor 2's oval racing after this, or hell, even Project Cars 2 after this, and it is so much better. Game looks so dated because it was created in Unity. Yes, it was. Whoa, whoa! Shoot. So, we just wrecked. So, consider, we just hit the wall pretty hard. And I'm going to call a 31.0 a pretty decent lap. That would get us in, like, top 10. But it's frustrating because a lot of the issues I'm having is because of this steering sensitivity. Because, for example, when the car is starting to get a little tight, I add a little more steering, but it doesn't give me that input I'm looking for. It is totally counterintuitive to the way that I normally drive in oval racing. Totally counterintuitive. And boom, lap 27, we're starting to see the tail end of the pack. And that's even considering we spun. We spun. Oh yeah, and no caution. And yeah, so we've seen one caution in this race. I have no idea why. And that's another complaint. You don't have like a replay showing what caused the caution. If they're not going to let you, or if they're automatically going to put you into, whoa! Holy spin out of nowhere, Batman! I had no indication of that spin. None whatsoever. I would have thought I'd feel something about this car stepping out, but nope. So now our hood's trashed, but we're not going to lose any speed at all. We are not going to lose any speed, I bet. So, again, 31-second lap time is decent. 31 seconds decent. And consider, we are not using light damage. We are using full damage. There should be some intense aero issue. There should be an aero issue right now. Obviously, our hood is crumpled to heck. But still, we're cornering pretty well. Maybe slightly slower. We're still reeling in the rest of the field. And a 31.171. And I know I might be going a little over the top of the stream. I know I might be a little over the top right now, but look at this closing speed I have on Reed Sorensen. And then, as I slow down, the steering all of a sudden gets more sensitive, and it just snaps the car around and stuff. It just upsets the balance of the car. And the issue here is 704 Games. They just inked a deal with NASCAR where they're going to be the exclusive maker of NASCAR console games until 2029. We have 11 more years to anticipate of this. We have 11 more years of this. We have 11 more years of NASCAR games like this if we're not careful. I want to see how 50% difficulty looks like. We'll take a look in a minute. And odds are it's something like F1. My guess is it's going to be something like F1. And I have seen that the F1 games, the minimum is 80% strength. So now these guys are pitting. So yeah, this is unacceptable for a NASCAR game, in my opinion. This is downright unacceptable. I mean, I do understand it is a game and stuff. So, Raging Beard. This is the default AI strength. Default AI strength 95%. And I can't pit because Boyer. Okay. So we'll pit next time by. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it's exclusive rights, but the contract says they're going to be making NASCAR games until 2029. 2029. Not 2019. 2029. This is EA 2.0. EA 2.0. That is what killed Papyrus. A deal like this. So yeah, I'm coming to the pits. And you can see the steering is now all of a sudden way more sensitive. And we're too fast entering still. And we got a black flag. Okay. I don't freaking care right now. We're still going to win this race, judging by how this goes. That's the thing. We're doing almost everything we can to lose this race, realistically. We've barrel rolled in the first or second lap. We went from 4th place all the way down to 40th. And then fought our way back. And fought our way back onto the lead lap, too. And now we're black flag, fixing damage again. And we'll see how this goes. So now we're repairing the damage. But yeah, this... I will just say this. The EA NASCAR games still had a decent level of polish. I could pull out my Xbox, or I could borrow my roommate's Xbox 360, get an Xbox compatible wheel, try out NASCAR 2009, and have a half decent racing feel. NASCAR Sim Racing for the PC was okay. NASCAR Thunder 2004, great fun game. 06-07, Total Team Control and Chase for a Cup was 2005. Those were fun games. So, we are in 33rd out of 40 right now. And we're not even halfway, so. Let's see how this goes. So, 8th place. We blew by them. And they only stopped a lap before me. A lap or so before me. And look. And I'm fine hitting the wall. It's not going to ruin the car or anything. Unless you hit too hard. Which, they're just not going to do that. And this is the default AI strength. I mean, I understand game for kids. But this is, at this point, it's a game for incompetent kids. They're giving kids way too little credit. Kids know how to play a game. For example, my brother-in-law, he's almost 40, and he actually, like, he'll struggle a little bit playing games. Like, he was trying Spider-Man the other day, and then I let one of my friend's kids play it, and he picks it up right off the bat, and I'm like, whoa, that's kind of a sign of the times. One of my old classmates, her 3-year-old daughter knew how to use an iPhone. And it's like, they are so easily able to pick up on games. So, this is just, yeah. Christopher, that's kind of why PC is in the title. PC is in the title of this stream. So we're already, we're passing the leader. We're passing the leader to get back on the lead lap, I think. Or, it's either get back on the lead lap or get 1 lap back. Either way, we are now 1 lap further up. But I wish there was a standing screen. There's so much empty real estate on this. There is so much empty real estate on the screen for potential UI, and it's squandered. And that's just a common theme for NASCAR Heat 3. There is potential. There's decent-ish physics lying down, like, below a horrible exterior. 'And, yeah, if they got rid of these god-awful steering assists that you can't turn off, if they even allowed an option to turn it off, that would make this game so much better. If they made the AI slightly more competent at lower difficulties, that would be a better improvement. If at 100 they're passing you right and left, and then at 90 they're just moving chicanes, that's a problem. They need to scale the AI better.
Great job, driver. That's a fast lap right there.
And then also, give us the ability to total a car in a single hit. This car has barrel rolled twice in this race. We should not be as fast as we are right now. There's no way. There's no way. And it's just like, yeah, look at this closing speed on Trevor Bayne. I don't know for certain, but I don't think he barrel rolled twice in this race. We're almost halfway through this race, and we're almost back up to top 20. In the wall again. We are not going to lose any speed, though. We're not going to lose any speed. Don't let that damage on hood fool you. We are not going to lose any speed. If anything, that hit made us faster at a very aero-dependent track.
Clear all around.
NASCAR the game, or NASCAR Heat 3. Throw your brain out the window. El Julio, oh boy. Oh boy. You might assume by my reaction, but I'm loving it! But yeah, shockingly, I didn't have any caffeine or anything, no mind-altering drugs before this stream. But yeah, so, the thing is,
Stay up high. Careful now. Still
again, this has potential.
You're clear.
And the thing is, if they got rid of those elements, it would still, in my opinion, be only a good game by maybe 2012, 2013 standards. Not by 2018 standards.
Clear all around.
I've heard some people say they feel like NASCAR the game Inside Line, which I think was like made in 2014 or something, was a better looking game, had better physics, and was overall a better game. And I've never played that game personally, but I would not be surprised if that was the case. I would not be surprised if that was the case. But yeah, this has potential. I mean, let's talk about some of the good things.
Yellow's out. Back her down. Back her down.
Wow. Wow. All of a sudden, we're in second. Okay, but we need to pit. So, continuing with what I am saying, let's look at some of the good things about this. Let's look at some of the decent things. There are all of the NASCAR tracks from the Cup Series, all of the tracks from the Truck Series, and all of the tracks from the Xfinity Series. And then also you have to factor in that they take a step backwards by locking the tracks to those series. So, for example, you are literally stuck with, like, you can't race Canadian Tire Motorsports Park with the Cup cars. You can only race it in the Truck Series. You can't do Road America with the Cup cars. You can't do Mid-Ohio with the Cup cars. Only the Xfinity. So it's like when they do one step forward, they take 2 or 3 steps back. And it's like, yeah, they did this one good thing, but then they did this totally questionable decision. And sure, I'd say, it's for authenticity. Well, I kind of am inclined to throw authenticity out the window when this game is as weird as it is. And then also, other NASCAR games allowed you to race those tracks. race other series tracks with other cars. And I mean, it would be so much fun to actually get to race mid-Ohio with the Cup cars. It would be a lot of fun, in my opinion. Whoa, little tight there. Well, actually really tight, but hey, it's not going to affect the performance of the car, so let's keep going. But yeah, so it has all the cars and tracks. Career mode is decent from the, I think, 3 races I've done with it. With the 3 races I've done, it's okay. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. I don't think it's at NASCAR Thunder 2004 level, but it's serviceable. And yeah, so there's that. It has decent field of cars. They allow the option for you to actually enable alcohol sponsors. That's a cool feature for authenticity, I guess. So, hey, at least we have that. It's fun racing Charlotte at night. We're already in 3rd place. So we fought our way back up. So it's like, yeah, this, I mean, budget tied for the Heat series, but still, I think they could have done a lot more. They could have at least, I mean, it costs no money to fix the steering. You're not going out and researching the, like, how to fix a steering, assist. You can turn it off. You can adjust a few lines in the code, and yeah, you'd be good to go. That is not something that you have to go to a track and research. You can just fix the assist, and that would speak volumes to improving this game. Things like that. And it's tough though, because you can tell they've recycled assets from the old NASCAR Heat games, and take like, and there's 2 years between NASCAR Heat 2 and NASCAR Heat 3. I think there were 2 years before the game, I think, because yeah, NASCAR Heat 2 simulated 2016. They had the pack to add 2017 cars, and now this is 2018. There were 2 years of development between the 2 games. Oh my god. Hold on a second. They have a leaderboard! I just totally stumbled on that! I hit the wheel in a fit of kind of rage, and we found... Guys, you have no clue how happy this actually makes me. They actually have this. So, lap info. They actually have that. Car status. Well, they have that too. And you can see we have some minor damage, but still, last lap, we posted our best lap of the game. And did we just post? We're 4/10 off our record for the race. With a car this damaged. If this was iRacing, we would have had to park, like, the car, like, early. Let's pit. Advance to green. So, okay, we're back to 14th. It looks like top 13 did not pit.
Be smooth out here. Have a good day. Be ready here. Green flag.
So we'll fight our way back to the lead again. We have 38 laps to go.
Hold your line. You got one inside. Hold your line. Bottom lane's clear. Give it a skid. All right, now you're clear.
And we're just muscling by these
Clear
guys.
outside. Clear all around.
Dive low.
Got all the real.
Do you have realistic accidents? No. We've barrel rolled twice in this race. We have barrel rolled twice in this race.
Bottom lane
And
clear. Give it a skid.
we get the car repaired and we're good to go, like so. Like you can see, apparently, it took about 1 second to repair almost all the damage of our car. And then, of course, we bumped someone in the rear, so that's why it's yellow. There's a rumor of patches coming to fix the steering. I sure hope it does. Like, if they fix the steering, at the very least, that could make this a more competent racing game. If they do that, I would be very happy. So you can see the tire status. That's pretty cool. So, I take back what I said about there not being enough information about the car. Because this is actually a decent way to put it. They sort of behind pages and... yeah, so I guess my left bumper and left shoulder button, those can go through the lap info and race and the car info. But boom, we're already almost 3 seconds ahead of Stenhouse. So let's watch our tire percentages and correspond with the laps. So still 30.1. That is our new PB, I think, of the race. That's our new personal best. And with a 20% fall off of the tires. So we'll see how this goes a little further. Little tight there. Laying on throttle, I'm gonna guess 30.4. 30.4? Okay, 30.265. I was close. But yeah, still, like, we're almost 20% fall off on this car. Very tight. Down to the 29s. Okay. This is, I think, the longest we've gone before flipping. I'm not sure if we're going to flip again this race, but with this handling model, we may, like, you never know. It's so weird, though, because as you slow down, the steering sensitivity bumps up. So when you go into the corners, it just feels so weird. It is a weird feeling. So everyone's pitting again, I guess. Oh yeah, so yeah, everyone who pitted or didn't pit during the caution, they're pitting now. And they just got out of the pits. So now we've lapped almost half the field. Almost half the field is lapped now. Do you think this game should have realistic pitting under cautions? Well, I was off sequence with the like half the field, so I think it is semi-realistic. We're gonna likely pit in about I think 5 laps. That'd be my guess. Yeah, we're gonna pit in about 5 laps. And then we're going to repair the car again and see, like, closing in. And then we'll pit one more time before the end of the race, I think. Here's Kyle Larson all the way back in 24th. That's unusual for him. Best NASCAR game known to work with open sim wheel, iRacing. I know it's not a dedicated NASCAR game, but iRacing. R-Factor 2 with mods will be okay. I think I've played NASCAR Racing 2003 season. NASCAR Racing 2003 season, I've gotten to work with an OSW before. Yeah, NR 2003 is the one everyone still plays. So we're literally gonna lap the bottom 20 before this race ends. That is mind-blowing.
Stay low, still there. All clear, all clear.
What do you think about the cockpit? Not a fan, personally.
Now you're clear.
There's no option to adjust the field of view, which that would have at least gone a long way to show that they were dedicated towards at least the moderate sim racing market. There's no way to adjust the field of view. There is like no way to adjust this, like remove the steering wheel. There's no way to adjust the head shake. It's all just, I mean, I'll just use the term poor console port. That's realistically what this kind of is. So we'll pit this time by. And again, you will see it is incredibly inconvenient and difficult to pit with this car. So, whoa. So here, you see the sensitivity increasing. There we go. We didn't speed this time. So yeah, we'll repair the car. We hit the car quite a few times, but I guess our crew will only need 1 second to repair the car. And the car's starting to get loose through, because one of the nice things is it is going to nighttime. It is getting cooler, so the car's getting a little more free. So we will bump up the wedge a bit, tighten up the car, and should be okay. And I'll give them credit. This pit crew animation is okay. Pit crew animation is okay. But I would have loved the option to be able to drive out.
You're clear of the road.
No human control. Honestly, engine sounds could be a lot more angry. Yes. It sounds like... it sounds very close to NASCAR Racing 2003. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like NR 2003 sounds. That's what it sounds like. It just hit me. And, I mean, those were serviceable 15 years ago, but they sound nothing like the real NASCAR cars now. In my final impressions thing I'm planning on doing, of like talking about it. Planning on talking about how the sounds are. And boom, we are in the lead again. Hey, Victor, how's it going? So yeah, didn't lose any positions there. Whoops. Little smack of the wall. Never hurt anyone. So, 77
Still
laps.
there. All right, now you're clear.
Let's take a look. 77, 89. We are going to be very close. Is the game any good? Well, at least it has potential. It has potential, but it's squandered by a lot of dumb decisions, a lot of dumb moves, and wow, that car just... I can't explain that. It just hit a seam and washed up straight into the wall. That didn't really make sense. The real cars, they don't hit the seam and all of a sudden... So let's just take it easy now. Let's bring it, and let's see, 11 laps. We will pit at lap 88, I think. 88 or 89. That's when we'll need to pit. We'll try lap 89, but we are barely going to be to the good, I think. Well, let's put this in perspective. We have lapped 21 cars. The top 10 right now are, nope, we have lapped 34 cars. Antoine, same engine sound, okay. Yeah, it's not suitable for 2018. You listen to the 2018 onboards, and at least iRacing gets it close. iRacing's not perfect, but it gets it close. This is not NASCAR sound. This is not the sound that a NASCAR stock car makes. Yeah, consider, we're driving with a damaged car, and boom, just drove past 5th, 4th, and 3rd. Threaded the needle right there. Whoa! Nailed the wall a bit, but we're still okay. We're still almost lapped. This looks a bit outdated. Well, by their standards, no. It's a game that released September 2018. This is a September 2018 game. Yes. This released, I believe, this month. I want to say like September 8th or something. And this feels like a game from 2006. This feels like a 2006 era game. Well, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to do some strategy. I'm going to stay out. So there are literally 6 cars on the lead lap right now.
We're going green.
I have to be very careful or else the steering, oversensitive steering, could wreck us.
Car on the outside now, outside.
But yeah, we have to lap our pit in about 3 laps. At least this will give us some strategy. Estimated 6 laps of fuel, so should be okay. But yeah, that's one of the things that's frustrating though. Yellow flag, automatically, computer takes control of your car. But yeah, that removes the fuel saving strategy, because if you look at a real NASCAR race, under cautions where strategy comes into play, you will actually legitimately see cars dumping the clutch, or not dumping the clutch, but pressing the clutch, shutting off the engine, trying to save fuel. And that's kind of how it is right now. So I don't think those other cars can make it on fuel though. They shouldn't be able to, because you only have 12 laps of fuel. So we're going to pit this time by, and we should have enough fuel to make it to the end. So again, slow down.
Drop your speed, driver.
There we go. 3 seconds of fuel. And actually, I'm going to drop down the wedge a little more. Bump up the tape to 40%. That should be okay. But yeah, or the thing is, there's potential. There's potential in this game. But so many weird decisions have totally squandered it. And just causes issues. And yeah, if they fix the steering like someone said that could happen in the patch, I could see this being okay. Is there dynamic weather? To my knowledge, no. Why would you need dynamic weather? It's a NASCAR game.
Clear the pit. Hammer down. Come on, go.
So we're down to 10th. Should be okay. Unsafe pit exit. I'm not going to get black flagged. But yeah, in real life, you could get black flagged for exiting the pits like that, I think. You have to wait till backstretch, I think. Oh, whoa! Bubba, what are you doing? Bubba Walls Jr. Just stopped in the track. Thankfully, that's not a yellow. But yeah, you can see cars a little looser now. A little freer. Let's take a look at our engine temps. 200 oil temp. I don't think we are going to blow. I don't think we overflow this. Bobby, this is the default AI difficulty. 95% strength. And this is the default strength that you are gonna have while playing. So let's see. We're starting to come across some of the lappers. Smack the wall a little bit, but we are okay. Some of these cars I think are about to pit, if they haven't already. We're up to 7th. Kind of funny, Danica Patrick's still in the game, even though she retired. Hopefully the game will be fixed over time. I'm hoping. It seems like 704 games, Duesenberry, Martin, Technics, whatever you want to call them. They'll give a little rip about the game, but not enough. That's the only thing. So more cars pitting. Whoa! Danica almost pinches me in the wall. Not the kind of pinch I want from Danica. So we're up to 4th. Whoa! David Reagan! What are you doing? You were stopped in the middle of the racing line. David Reagan! Why? We're up to 3rd.
That car in front of you is coming to the pit.
More cars pitting. We're in 2nd.
5 to go this time, Bob. Stay high, stay high. All right, careful now, still there. Low lanes clear here, low is clear.
I don't think I'm going to be lying. I don't think I'd be lying if I said an angry monkey with stump hands could play this game. I mean, with the controller, I think it'd be okay. With the wheel, it'd be a pain in the butt, but we are about to pass for the lead again. And put in perspective, we've flipped this car twice. We flipped this car twice. We started at 4th place, flipped, went back to 40th, lapped down, got the lap back, fought and took the lead, and then I think flipped again and fell back again. Had to repair the car again, fell back, another lap down, fought her way back up, and now took the lead with 2 laps to go. If David Reagan, I'm not David Reagan, if Chase Elliott isn't the GOAT, then who is? Whoa! We spun it! The classic Chase Elliott choke!
Caution.
Oh my gosh. Well, obviously we can't pit now. We cannot pit now. Green, white, checkered. NASCAR overtime. Will we win? We will find out.
Going green. Be ready. Ready. Green out.
Yeah, with an extremely damaged car, will we still get the win?
Take off.
Oh!
Hold your line. You got one inside. Hold your line. Inside, inside, inside.
I got bumped.
All clear, all clear.
The move of the race. I'm going to get the run on the outside on Harvick.
Still there.
And then cut to the inside. Inside of Harvick for the lead.
Car up top, go top, car high now.
And now I just need 2 more corners. But hey, they finally called a caution on me. So, hey, that's kind of exciting, I guess. And we get the win! Wow. Speed rating 99. Let's do a burnout. Well, good thing I turned the music off. Who wouldn't want to listen to a band by the group Naked Walrus? And then we can go to the external camera angle, see how totaled our car is. Actually, you can't through the smoke. At least the smoke effects are good. Can we blow the engine, though? Let's find out. And we just blew the engine. Well, I guess Mr. Hendrick isn't going to be happy with us there. Feels almost too easy to burn out, though. Because, yeah, so roll on the throttle, half throttle. Even with this blown engine, it's just way too easy to break out, I think. We'll just pull the car here and hit Denny. Well, I know with 105, I'm going to suck. I know that, Bobby. One of the reasons I chose 95 was because I show you guys 100. And 100 was legitimately competitive. 100% and then drop off 5. And we lapped almost the entire field once. Actually, twice. So, and this was the default strength. This was the default strength. So we'll see how, like, we'll do a quick race. We'll do a quick race with 105 and see how that is. But also, I need to, I'm going to wrap up the stream at about 10, I think. So in about a half hour, I'm going to end the stream. So we'll do a very quick race. Hey, 1 race, 1 win at Charlotte. We'll take it. But for this, let's see. Let's do Harvick. OP Harvick. And let's, as a track, let's see. Let's do Texas. Or wait, dang it, I forgot to change the strength. My bad. We'll have to exit out and do that. So, let's check real quick. So, custom difficulty. Okay, 85 is minimum. 105 is max. So, I'm not going to do practice. I'm just going to qualify and race. Well, or wait, you're saying that 704 Games cares about NASCAR?
Time to go.
I'm not really getting that impression from the game, to be honest. But hey, at least this car uses a different dash than what Hendrick uses. That's pretty cool. So let's see how this is. The banking for Texas feels off. This is Texas? Yeah, it's Texas. I didn't accidentally choose a wrong track. The banking seems off.
Qualifying count. Here we go.
So one shot. You can set it to segment qualifying, but I'm just doing one shot. I would have liked a more conventional, like 2-lap qualifying like they used to do. Little late to throttle there, but we'll get the drive off in the wall a bit. That's going to throw us back, I bet.
All right, that's it.
33rd, okay. Okay. That'll be a legitimate challenge, I think. Let's change the setup. We'll do balanced.
Starter has the green flag in his hand.
I should have made the race shorter, I think.
Green, set, let's go. Stay up high here. Stay up high. Still there. Hold your line. Got one inside. Hold your line. Inside, inside.
Well, Bobby, that's kind of a lie. That's kind of a lie. They market themselves as a small company based in Charlotte. But in reality, they're a failed sect from a larger British company. So it used to be Eutechnics. But then they rebranded to ETX Racing or something like that. Then a group of them broke off, came stateside, and became Duesenberry Martin Racing. And then DMR rebranded into 704 Games. So this is in reality largely a British company making a NASCAR game. That's why I'm skeptical of what you're saying. They keep on trying to rebrand, shake off their previous image after making a cruddy NASCAR game. That's why I'm a little skeptical with what you're saying. But yeah, look up Duesenberry Martin Racing. And the two names, Duesenberry and Martin, they were former parts of Eutechnics. Whoa! First guy I've heard negative about the game. Interesting.
Stay high, stay high. Careful.
Well, with the wheel, I'm not a fan. But also, it's interesting because I was talking with some other people. I was talking with Billy Strange in the SimRacingPaddock Discord channel earlier. And, whoa! Whoa! I mean, that's partly my mistake. Partly it was also just that steering sensitivity issue again. We'll just repair the car and get this done. So we're 3 laps down.
These cars off. Coming to the green. Be ready. Hammer down, man.
They said it was an extra 30 seconds to fix the car. How are we 3 laps down?
Careful now. Still there.
I mean, I could have imagined a 1-lap penalty or something, but how the heck are we 3 laps down? Really? If the game is going to be broken, like, why are you going to be like that? But yeah, continuing on who I've heard negative things about, I was talking with Billy Strange in the SimRacingPaddock Discord. And he was like, yeah, I refunded it before 2 hours. Like, before even getting 2 hours in, he said the driving's a joke and things like that. And I'm inclined to agree with him as of right now. They need to fix a whole lot. But then Austin Oganowski, he goes out and has the audacity to say, this may be the best NASCAR sim game ever. I'm like, dude, I know marijuana is about to become legal in Canada, but don't be hopping on the ganja just yet, bro.
Careful now. Still there.
I mean, he's calling this one of the best NASCAR simulations ever.
Still there.
That is mind-blowing.
Careful now, still there.
And if you want to check that for yourself, you can go to Austin Nognoski's YouTube channels.
Got one down low now. Got one down low.
And Bobby,
Clear, awkward.
find a used copy of NASCAR Racing 2003, get a mod for it. It would be better than this. Or R Factor 2, get the NASCAR cars and the mod tracks. That would be better too. And then you'd also get more cars. Or get iRacing.
Hard on the outside.
Guys, that should have just wrecked my car right there.
Inside.
I'll give them credit. I will give them credit.
Clear.
The AI works well. The AI is okay at this high strength. They're actually racing each other. They're 3 wide into turn 3 and 4, and they're actually making it stick. I've seen them make realistic mistakes. I've even seen them blow tires and go into the wall. I didn't see the caution come out until a lap later, but yeah, they actually blew a tire. So the AI is relatively competent, but driving past them is such a pain. Career mode is okay. It's okay. Not as good as, say, NASCAR Dirt to Daytona or NASCAR Race or NASCAR Thunder 2004, but it's okay. I haven't dove too deep into it.
Clear.
I want to dive deeper. I might do some live streams taking a look at that if they fix the steering in this. But yeah, as is right now, this game's painful. This game, like, okay, full disclosure for you guys. I did not buy this game. Thrustmaster contacted me and said, hey, we have some copies of NASCAR Heat 3. Do you want to try it? I'm like, sure, why not? I was like, why not try it? So I got this game for free.
That car there's on your inside. Inside.
And I'm struggling to have a good time playing this for free. I would never pay $60 for this.
Stay up high here. Stay up high.
Maybe 15 or 20 as I get punted into the wall. Guy goes for a gap that's just not there. Okay, let's do an experiment. We're stopped in the middle of the track. Literally, in the middle of the track. Wow, that's the look left and look right? That's the extent of being able to look left or right. No, I am not trying to compare this to iRacing. I'm comparing this to older NASCAR games. I'm comparing this to older NASCAR games. In an old NASCAR game, you should not be able to go backwards on a track. You're not supposed to be able to do this. So let's see how long it takes for a caution to come out. Also, we have full damage. This
Stop. Going
should
through.
cause
Away.
a blown engine. That should cause a blown engine. And now, we were driving the wrong way for about 20 seconds before a caution comes out. This is a fundamentally broken NASCAR game. I'm not judging this compared to iRacing. Throw iRacing out of the picture. Throw R Factor 2 Oval out of the picture. Throw Project Cars 2 Oval out of the picture. Compare this to, say, NASCAR, compare this to NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup. That actually was a fun NASCAR game that had different features, it had different modes, it had a functionally competent game that you could actually race okay with the wheel. And also, fun fact, I caused the caution. I should not get the free pass there. I should have not gotten the free pass. I should have been, I should not have gotten the free pass there.
Stay high. Stay high. Careful now. Still there.
So, yeah, NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup. Fun NASCAR game. You could actually play it with the wheel. It didn't have this wheel issue. It didn't have that wheel sensitivity problem. I mean, I just hit the wall there. I'll take the blame for that. So, yeah, this is broken by NASCAR game standards. And then also factor in, there's so many settings you should be able to adjust in a NASCAR game that you just simply can't. So we'll go down to 100. We'll actually 98. We'll see how that is and see if it's actually competent. We'll do 7% race. For the heck of it, we'll do strict yellow, see what happens. But yeah, so just seeing how this is, it's fundamentally broken with the wheel. Also, I want to place this fact out there. It is not because of the open sim wheel. I am driving with a wheel, pedal, and shifter set worth approximately $2,500. The wheel is a $1,500 wheel. Pedals are 800 pedals. It is not because, oh, this game doesn't support high-end hardware. I tested with my Fanatic CSL Elite. I tested that in my bedroom with my other rig. Same problem. I tested with my Logitech G27, one of the most used sim wheels out there. Same problem. This is a fundamental issue with the game. So let's try some road course racing. And let's get on to this complaint I have. Because of this speed-sensitive steering issue, this has the speed sensitivity issue, so going through the S's, it's not that sensitive. So again, I'm steering more than the virtual wheel is showing. It's steering more than what you are actually getting in game. So naturally it's tight. In a slower speed corner, way too sensitive now. It makes slow courses, so it makes courses like Martinsville. It makes road courses near undrivable. This is near undrivable. So again, we're coming up on a slower corner. And then all of a sudden, the steering is more sensitive. In high-speed corners, it's less sensitive. It just throws you for a loop, and it just makes this entirely unrealistic. If they remove the speed sensitivity steering, if they remove that, if they remove the low speed force feedback boost, this would make the game so much better. But again, we're in this corner. I'm steering 90 degrees to the right there, and then 90 degrees to the left. And this doesn't recognize it. And all of a sudden, boom, slower speed, wheel gets more sensitive. So it's a fundamental issue with steering in the game. I could see this being fun with a gamepad. I could see this being okay with a gamepad, because this setting would be okay with a gamepad. But with a steering wheel, so the first thing I'll do when firing up a fresh install of R Factor or R Factor 2, I'll turn down speed, or I'll make sure speed sensitivity is at 0, because that will make it into where the steering is not one-to-one. Unfortunately, in this game, I can't do it. Also unfortunate, I can't find a single setting in a single text file or anything that would allow me to change it. This is fundamentally broken. It really is. And I know people are like, you're almost never negative on games or anything. And it's like, well, here you go. I'm negative on this. And the thing is, I'm still a NASCAR fan. I still enjoy NASCAR. It is fun. I go to the NASCAR races at my local track, Sonoma, but it just feels like NASCAR and the games have gone downhill lately. Questionable business moves, questionable decisions keep on holding it back. So yeah, I'd say, in my opinion, the last pretty decent NASCAR game is NASCAR 09. And the sad, ironic part is that was at a state where the NASCAR games were so bad, the Cup cars had no manufacturers on them. NASCAR 09 was a game, a NASCAR game where the cars were generic. There was no Chevy, there was no Ford, There was no dodge. They just had generic bodies in the game. They couldn't even get the licensing for car manufacturers in NASCAR 09. But still, I would recommend NASCAR 09 over this game right now. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, I have like nothing left to say. I mean, I was going to do a review of this. I was going to do a review and just rake it on the coils. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait likely until the season's over. I want to wait until the NASCAR season's over, possibly, and see if they actually do any fixes. If they do any fixes, and maybe if they fix the steering, this would greatly improve the game. This could greatly improve the game if NASCAR did any improvements after the season ends. Course penalty, okay. So you can get penalized for cutting the course, but yeah. But yeah, it's tough though, because it's the funny thing is NASCAR Heat. Apparently they hired some of the original staff that made the NASCAR Heat games. They didn't tell us they used the same assets. But yeah, this could have been so much better. But hey, look on the bright side. 704 Games has 11 years of NASCAR contracted games to improve. So, yeah, we'll just park it here. Park it here, and yeah, closing thoughts. Closing thoughts. I can't recommend this game to anyone. I'm having a tough time enjoying this game, and I was given this game for free. There's no way that I could recommend this NASCAR game to really anyone. Maybe if you're a die-hard NASCAR fan, and then you have just have this insane motivation to make their own career in a NASCAR game. So that, I would say, get the game on a half-off sale or something. Get the game, but don't spend more than $30. Don't spend more than $30. This game is fundamentally broken as it is right now, and there's just, I can't recommend it. I can't in a good conscience recommend this when there are better games. Find an old copy of NASCAR Racing 2003 or NASCAR 2000 or NASCAR Thunder 2004. Get NASCAR 06 Total Team Control if you want the team management aspect. I would recommend find a cheap PS2 on Craigslist, get a NASCAR game, and it still might look better than this. It might. And yeah, or get R Factor 2. Download the free stock cars and get the mods. Get the skin pack. Get the tracks. That would be a more enjoyable thing. And yeah, it's like, I could talk to 704. I might shoot them an email, share my thoughts, and yeah, so right now, that wheel is 90 degrees to the right in game. My wheel is here. That is how far I have it turned. That's about 50 degrees, but it's showing 90 in game. If I'm at speed, this would be here, roughly. That's a fundamental issue that should not be in any racing game, let alone a racing game from 2018. Again, I will just say, if they got rid of this steering issue, this could be a decent game. Sure, it's out of date, or not outdated, but sure, it's outdated in some of the graphics and stuff like that, but it could at least be an enjoyable NASCAR game. this steering issue is my biggest fault with the game. It easily is my biggest fault with the game, and I hope someday they will fix it. I would hate to wait and see NASCAR Heat 4, whatever they're going to call it, and see they didn't fix it or something. So, yeah, I'm done. I wish I had more positive to say. Again, I am still a NASCAR fan, but it just seems like in general a lot of decisions are not really a good option. Like, yeah, raging, it's usually an option that can be turned off. This, you can't. There's no option to turn off speed-sensitive steering. I have it set. Like, if you look into Profiler, it's perfectly linear. Like, or is it perfectly linear? I think that's the right term. Where it's 1-to-1 in the options. But in here, when you're actually driving, it's not. And there's no option to turn off speed-sensitive steering. And it's like, yeah. Best PS4 game, in my opinion. Assetto Corsa is pretty good. Project Cars 2's decent on console. And you can even have fun on GT Sport. But for this, I'm like, no. I would not recommend this on PS4. But yeah. I wish I had more positives to say about it. I really wish I did, but it just seems like there's so many fundamental flaws in this game. I can't enjoy it even for free. So, yeah, there's no way I'll recommend NASCAR Heat 3 in this current state. No way whatsoever. So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with my insane ranting. And, yeah, so I'll try to do some more upbeat streaming, maybe in the weekend, maybe next week. I still need to put together my next level racing cockpit, so that should be soon. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'll keep you posted on what's coming up on the channel. Remember, if you haven't already, you can actually check out, or where is it? You can check out SimRacingPaddock on our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. SimRacingPaddock on Facebook, SimRPaddock on Twitter, and I think it's actually SimRacingPaddock on Instagram, so I'll need to fix that later. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully this game gets better. I think there's a chance it could get better in the future, but for now, I can't recommend it. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. For the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh, and you have a good one.